For the second part of the experiment, we're going to look at perfectly inelastic collisions. And you might remember from your lecture notes that a perfectly inelastic collision is when two objects collide, stick together, and continue on. Okay, so then we attach our magnet in here, slide that in, and use one of these attachments to secure it to the glider. We need to make sure that the other magnet attracts, so keep it in the orientation that it will attract. And place that in your second glider. With about 1 millimeter sticking out from the end. And again, secure that with one of these. So to know the momentum of the carts, we need to know their mass. So you need to take those carts over to the scale and weigh them. Get a good average weight and an uncertainty in the mass. So now we know the mass. To get the momentum, we need to know the velocity. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our cart off from this end of the track. We're going to have the small cart in the center of the track stationary. Take your small glider and put it in the middle of the cart and get your partner to hold it stationary in the center. So now we know its velocity, we know its mass, so its momentum is 0 before the collision. Take your other glider and put it at the start of the track. We know its mass. We're going to know its velocity as it comes through here because we can measure it. And then we're going to measure the velocity as it travels through the second gate when they've stuck together. So we'll know the momentum afterwards. So we can see if momentum's conserved. So press the collect button, launch. And they'll travel through the second photo gate and register a time as well. Now you need to repeat that for 3 more velocities. So start off slow, medium, fast, and very fast. So you've got 4 different measurements, basically, of initial momentum. So once you have that, you have 4 different initial momentums, you have 4 different final momentums. You can draw a graph of the initial momentum versus the final momentum. So now you have the velocity before and the momentum before, and you have the velocity after and the momentum after, so you can work out whether momentum is conserved there. So you're going to now need to take your data, as we showed before, take it into Excel, and plot a graph of the momentum before the collision and the momentum after. And you should be able to work out from that, with some help from your demonstrator if you need it, whether momentum was conserved. Also, draw a graph of the energy, the kinetic energy, and see before and after, and to see if it was conserved. You should be able to then calculate the percentage loss of kinetic energy, and you'll find, because we have an inelastic collision, that kinetic energy is lost. So you need to explain why that's come about. So have a think about the processes, the energetic processes that are going on in this experiment as to why we would lose kinetic energy.